How many miles have we walked so far?
Almost 4.
Almost 4 on a trail that was supposed to only be 2.30. But I'm following what the thread trail is showing on the map. That's what I'm doing, exactly what they have. Oh, I wanted to show you this thing. It's like a tumor for trees. Grandfather Mountain has one in their museum that is enormous. Darn near about as big as that thing. You hollow it out and get inside of it. It's a tumor. And but I tell you what, it's a warm day today. Was it in the 80s? And it's draining our energy. I'll tell you that. You can see real quick why I don't hike in the summertime usually. And so, we haven't taken a lunch break. And how long have we been on this trail? It's been a number of hours already.
3.5.
3.5 hours. And so we stopped at the Cron house. And what a cool last name, Cron. And his name was a doctor.
Yeah.
Dr. Cron. And so, I mean, what a cool name. That would be a cool doctor name. And Dr. Cron. But at any rate, we are still trying to get to the end of this thing. And the trail overall has been pretty good. Pretty nice trail. And so, but...
I would not call it moderate.
No. Well, I tell you, I don't know how they do their measuring. And
strenuous.
it's just, I don't know if I would call it strenuous.
Well, what's between moderate and strenuous? Is there nothing else?
I don't know. It's well, if you're talking about the length, but what they mean by usually when they talk about moderate, they're talking about the actual hiking on the trail. And so, but it's not been bad at all. And so they do a pretty good job cleaning this thing up. And so, but at any rate, what we're going to do is usually we would double back, but I think we're just going to walk the road back to the parking lot where we're parked at. And because we're probably about the same distance. And so it's going to be interesting to see exactly how many miles we did end up with. But we would have actually completed the thread trail part. And so, but normally we just double on back. But because of time constraints and stuff like that, though they don't close until 10, we want to get back a little bit earlier than that. So we're just going to walk back when we hit the end of this thing. Okay, we made it. We're at the end. Sandra, how many miles did we walk?
4.5.
4.5 miles.
Yep.
On a trail that was supposed to be 2.30.
So we almost doubled. And we ain't even made it back to the car. So
That was just one way.
Yeah.
I was expecting about 5 miles
Total.
double and backing, but we walked 4.5 miles one way. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to we're going to ride. We're going to ride.
I wish we could ride.
Hey, man, come back here.
I wish we could ride.
We're going to go this way back to our parking lot. Back in the parking lot where we parked at. And we're probably looking at 2 to 3 miles, maybe?
Yeah, at least another
2 to 3 miles, at least that, I'm guessing. And so, you know, a word to the wise. Anytime you're looking at thread trail hiking, just remember, take those distances with a grain of salt. All right, we're taking a little sit-down break at this bridge here. This wall here is nice to sit on. And we are at mile what now? 5 point what?
5.4 miles.
5.4 miles. Okay. We've walked about another mile since the last recording. I'll tell y'all a little something that just happened. I was walking ahead of Sandra, probably enough that when we go around a bend, we don't see each other. Well, I had a truck coming. And so I jumped this little tiny creek It slowed down just a little bit and then kept on going. When it got to Sandra, he stopped and asked her if she needed a ride. And I thought that was very, very suspicious. In that, why didn't he ask me? Because I wasn't a girl. Well, I tell you what, guys.
He asked me if I was okay.
And it was a guy.
Yeah, I guess I looked at the older fella. I guess I looked half dead.
I don't know. But why did he saw me. He got to me first before you. We had the same type of backpack on. Same type of day pack on. Hiking sticks. We're on the same side of the road. Clearly you can see that, hey, we're together most likely. And but he don't say nothing to me, but he says something to you. And I'm telling you what, out here, I mean, there ain't nobody gonna hear or see you scream.
I would have hit him with the trekking pole.
Yeah. But like I said, guys, you guys got to watch out. It's always good to walk in pairs, be in pairs, and have some type of defensive weapon on you. It's just the way it is. And don't accept rides from strangers. I got what appears to be a dead, looks like a copperhead right here on the road. It is flat. Tell you what, they got some beautiful markings on it. But we did not, knock on wood, run across any snakes out here on the trail. I have lost Sandra, not literally. I dropped her off at the visitor center, And so she's gonna wait for me there. I'm gonna go back. I'm still hiking back to the parking lot where we parked at. And by the time we got to the visitor center, we have walked 7.2 miles. 7.2 miles, and so she gave me her phone that has got some type of app on it, guys, and I have to say I was really reluctant to believe anything that it said, but that thing pretty freaking accurate on many of the hikes that we've been on. And so she gave me her phone to put in the pocket so I can see how much longer I walk. But while we were walking back up to the visitor center, had a ranger come by, went by me, and you know what? He asked Sandra if she was all right and needed a ride. What is up with this? Now, if she would have gotten to the truck with the ranger, I wouldn't have mind. He's staff employee. But she said she was okay. He thought he saw her trip, what she did. She did a little trip. And so he stopped and checking out, see if she's okay, maybe needs a little ride. And so we got a good laugh out of that. Okay, I am back at the parking lot. And didn't really take me too long after dropping her off at the visitor center. Here's the parking lot right here. That's where we parked at. And I am going to get in this baby and turn on some AC and go pick her up and figure out exactly what was the total miles I walked today. And so now we originally and planned on about 5 to 5.5, maybe upwards of 6 miles is what we originally planned to do. We blew that out of the water already. And so, but let me pick her up and let's see what the final count was. Okay, we're back. I got her at the visitor center and I was incorrect. Sandra, you walked how many total?
I walked 6.2. You walked 7.7.
Okay. So I walked another mile and a half
yep.
after I dropped you off to go get the car.
Yep.
Okay, now Sandra talked to some of the staff here about the actual length of the thread trail, and there is some debate. One person said what?
3 miles, and another guy said it was closer to 4, like 3.8.
Okay, so but when we did it,
it was about 4.
It was it was 4.
I think about 4 miles.
Or 4 or 4.5.
Yeah, something like
Oh, well,
that.
I tell you what, we said it in the videos
Yes.
that we clipped. So, at any rate.
But I will say this. We did walk over to the Crone House and back, so that would have factored in something.
Yeah, I mean, well,
So.
I tell you what, if you do this trail.
On the trail, probably 3.8 is probably about right.
Yeah, listen, if you don't, the Crone House should be added into this hike. You really need to stop in and do that. Yeah. So we're going to add it in. We're going to add it in because on the Thread Trail map, it has you going to the parking lot and then going back on the trail. Yeah. But we're going to go ahead and add it in. And so the numbers, the actual numbers that we did, the actual Thread Trail numbers that we calculated will come up on the screen, and they're saying that it's about 3.8 to 4 miles is what it is. So there is a difference in what the Thread Trail website says and what you're actually doing here. And so, you know, if you was to actually do the trail and double back, guys, you're going to be doing about 8 miles, about 8 miles. And so that shows you the differences. And so I will say this, there's those measurements have never actually been correct. And so, but other than that, it's still a great hike. It's a great website to check out. And it's a great little hobby.
You need to start early in the day.
Yeah, we should have started much earlier than we did.
We walked for 5 hours.
Yeah, we walked for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And that my walking.
Yeah, yeah, we got out of the car at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And it's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 hours. And so, any rate, guys, we're going to go see if we can eat a Subway sandwich, and then we're going to take one heck of a shower when we get home.
Yes.
But you guys take care. We love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.